I sell Avon, and I never felt so good.
You never looked so good.
If you grew up in the 1960s or 1970s, there's a very good chance your house didn't just look a certain way, it smelled a certain way too. And more often than not, that smell came from a small glass bottle sitting proudly on a dresser, a vanity, or a bathroom shelf. Avon perfumes weren't just fragrances. They were part of daily routines, special occasions, and quiet moments getting ready in front of a mirror. Today, we're taking a slow walk through 10 Avon perfumes that lived on practically every dresser. And if you recognize even one of these, chances are the memory is going to hit you before the scent ever could. Number 1. Sweet Honesty.
What intrigues a man about a woman is elusive.
Sweet Honesty was the perfume that said, "I'm not a little kid anymore, but I'm not trying too hard either." It often marked a quiet turning point, the moment a girl was trusted with something grown up, something personal. It usually came as a gift, wrapped carefully, sometimes paired with a matching lotion or powder, and opened slowly so the bottle could be admired first. The scent itself was soft, slightly powdery, and gently floral, the kind of fragrance that felt safe. Moms approved of it because it wasn't loud or overpowering, and daughters loved it because it felt like independence in a bottle. It was dabbed carefully, never sprayed, usually behind the ears or on the wrists, often while standing in front of a mirror that still had childhood stickers nearby. Sweet Honesty was worn to school dances, church services, birthday parties, and first outings where it felt important to smell right. For many women, that scent is still tied to nervous excitement, borrowed sweaters, and the feeling of growing up just a little faster than time allowed. It wasn't just a perfume, it was permission. Number 2. Timeless.
Presenting Timeless, Avon's new ultra-lasting fragrance. Timeless serenades you with fragrance and lingers like a lasting melody. Timeless, it reminds you over and over again you're wearing something beautiful and exciting.
What are you wearing?
Timeless earned its name honestly because once a woman chose it, she rarely ever changed. This wasn't a perfume you experimented with. It became your scent. The bottle sat in the same spot year after year, replaced only when it ran empty and always with another bottle of Timeless. The fragrance itself was warm, floral, and comforting, never trendy, never sharp. It smelled like consistency, like mornings that followed the same rhythm, like a woman who knew who she was and didn't feel the need to announce it. It lingered softly on blouses, coats, scarves, and the air of rooms where daily life happened.
What is there about this woman that turns everyone's head? True, she looks lovely. But so does this attractive lady. Yes, what you see is lovely. It's what you don't see that everyone in the room is aware of. It's her very special individuality, her exquisite aura. In a word, her fragrance.
Children grew up surrounded by Timeless without realizing it. It was the smell of hugs before school, of voices calling from another room, of a mother getting ready while the radio played in the background. Years later, one unexpected whiff could bring everything back. Not just the scent, but the entire feeling of home wrapped up in it. Number 3. Charisma.
You've got that confidence, you've got that style, you've got that winning look, and oh, with a smile, oh, with a smile.
Charisma was not subtle, and it wasn't meant to be. This was the perfume that arrived before the woman wearing it did. Bold, spicy, and unmistakably confident, Charisma filled a room and stayed there long after the door closed. Women who chose Charisma knew exactly what they were doing. This scent belonged to strong personalities. Women with styled hair, sharp eyeliner, confident strides, and no interest in blending into the background. It clung to coats and scarves, settled into fabric, and lingered on hugs. When someone wearing Charisma hugged you, the scent stayed with you like a signature. Charisma wasn't worn casually. It was chosen deliberately, often for nights out, gatherings, or moments when being noticed mattered. It carried authority, drama, and presence. Avon didn't whisper with this one. Charisma was a statement, and the women who wore it made sure it was heard. Number 4. Unforgettable.
Half the fun of the holidays is anticipation. I know. I bring Avon gifts.
They're gonna love these gifts. Just never seemed so good. You never been so good.
Unforgettable lived up to its name in a quieter, more deliberate way. This wasn't an everyday perfume. It was saved, reserved for evenings that felt different from the rest of the week. Date nights, anniversaries, dinners out, or moments when a woman stood in front of the mirror just a little longer than usual. The scent felt polished and romantic, blending effortlessly with hairspray, lipstick, and carefully chosen earrings. Women applied it slowly, often just a touch on the neck or wrists. Knowing a little went a long way. The bottle usually sat front and center on the dresser, not because it was used constantly, but because it mattered. It wasn't tucked away. It was waiting. Unforgettable carried anticipation with it. The feeling of stepping out the door, of plans made in advance, of something special about to happen. Even now, many people associate that scent with dim restaurant lighting, car rides at night, and the quiet excitement of being seen and appreciated. It wasn't loud or flashy, but once you noticed it, you didn't forget it. Number 5. Occur. Occur may be one of the most 1970s names ever put on a perfume bottle. Even the name felt bold, modern, and slightly mysterious, just like the era itself. The scent leaned deeper and more complex than Avon's softer offerings. Women who wore Occur wanted something different, something that felt modern and a little daring. It wasn't for everyone, but that was part of its appeal. If Occur lived on your dresser, it said something about you, that you were paying attention to trends and you weren't afraid to stand out. And if these kinds of slow, nostalgic deep dives feel like home to you, make sure you're subscribed. New videos like this are always on the way. And if you're on Facebook, come join our growing nostalgia community there too. It's full of familiar memories, friendly conversations, and people who still remember exactly what these bottles smelled like the moment you unscrewed the cap. Number 6. To a Wild Rose.
I sell Avon, and I never felt so good.
You never looked so good.
To a Wild Rose was polite, clean, and quietly beautiful. It smelled fresh and green, like morning air and neatly pressed blouses. This was a daytime perfume, perfect for work, errands, or lunch with friends. It never overwhelmed a room, but it always felt appropriate. Women who wore it liked things orderly, tasteful, and calm. The bottle often sat beside a hairbrush or compact, used as part of a steady morning routine. To a Wild Rose was gentle, dependable, and quietly reassuring, much like the women who chose it. Number 7. Candid. Candid was what many teenage girls thought grown-ups smelled like. It was softer than the bold adult perfumes, but more sophisticated than the sweet beginner scents. Girls wore it to feel mature, just a dab before school, a little extra before a party. It smelled fresh and modern, with just enough edge to feel special. Candid was aspirational. It lived on dressers alongside curling irons, Bonbell lip gloss, and hopes of being taken seriously just a little sooner than adulthood allowed. Number 8. Moonwind.
Moonwind. A fragrance of love from a legend of love, inspired by the moon. For the most romantic women on earth. Moonwind, a beautiful fragrance. Moonwind, a heavenly romantic fragrance available on earth only from your Avon lady.
Moonwind was soft, musky, and just a little mysterious. It felt intimate, a scent meant for evenings, quiet conversations, and moments that didn't need to be loud. Women who wore Moonwind often described it as comforting, even romantic. It blended into the background of a room rather than announcing itself. The bottle might sit near a bedside lamp, used before bed or during slow evenings at home. Moonwind didn't shout. It whispered, and that's exactly why so many people still remember it. Number 9. Skin So Soft.
The world's largest beauty company brings you Skin So Soft. The #1 floating bath oil in America from Avon. We're gonna make you feel beautiful. Skin So Soft. Tight, thirsty skin is soothed and smooth. Dryness disappears.
Skin So Soft technically wasn't a perfume, but everyone remembers the smell. Originally a bath oil, it became legendary for reasons Avon probably never planned. It lived on dressers, bathroom counters, and near bathtubs. People used it for moisturizing, summer skincare, and yes, even as bug repellent. The scent was soft, clean, and instantly recognizable. If Skin So Soft was in your house, you knew it. Even today, the smell alone can transport someone straight back to warm evenings, open windows, and Avon bottles lined up neatly on a shelf. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Which Avon scent lived on your dresser, or your mom's, your grandma's, or your aunt's? Was there one we didn't mention that instantly comes back to you? Drop it in the comments. Your memories are half the fun, and I love featuring them in future videos. Number 10. Avon's little perfume bottles and figurines. Sometimes the bottle mattered almost as much as the scent. Avon's collectible perfume bottles, shaped like bells, figurines, animals, and holiday symbols, were proudly displayed on dressers and shelves. Many were barely used, saved for special occasions, or simply admired. They were gifts, decorations, and keepsakes all at once. Kids were warned not to touch them. Adults dusted them carefully. Even empty, they stayed. Those little bottles weren't just packaging, they were part of the decor and part of the memory. These Avon perfumes weren't just fragrances, they were fixtures of everyday life. They sat quietly on dressers, watched routines unfold, and soaked into the memories of everyone who passed through those rooms. Long after the bottles are gone, the scents still linger, not in the air, but in the mind. If even one of these made you stop and say, "Oh wow, I remember that," then you know just how powerful those little bottles really were.